Hello, my name is Stumbo98 and this is my GDQ submission for Sonic the Hedgehog Project 2006, or P06 for short. The P06 was developed by one Chaos X 2006, along with his development team. They basically created a reimagining for Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, because, you know, if you know anything about Sonic, you know Sonic 2006 was quite the train wreck in terms of development, you know, time constraints, all that jazz. I'm sure you've heard it all before. If you know anything about this character, that is. But this is a complete reimagining with new character movesets, stage redesigns, new physics, new movement, whole 9 yards. This game, I believe, to have the best 3D Sonic movement ever. And it's completely free. So if you've ever wanted to play Sonic 06, but good, well, here's your game for you. The category I'm going to be running, I am the world record holder in. I've held this 3 times, this world record 3 times, and I currently hold it as well for Sonic Any %. So we're doing Sonic stages from front to back because that's the only thing available in this game. There's no story or boss fights or anything, with no movement restrictions, which means we have access to gems, colorful little power-ups that Sonic can use to gain different abilities throughout the stages. And they are balanced in this game, so we can't do anything too crazy, but this run's still freaking exciting. So I'm ready to go in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Alrighty, so beginning off in Wave Ocean, you can see no loading screens in this one. We are jumping straight into the action. Switching right over to the blue gem, you can see Chaos added these little dash rings to help us glide on this water better. But if this game didn't already borrow enough from Sonic Adventure 1 already, Chaos added back in the spammable spin dash from Sonic Adventure 1. So whenever our blue gem's recharging or something like that, we will be mainly using the spin dash for movement. And there's just some times where the spin dash is going to be better to move throughout the stage. As you can see, I'm doing tons of things. I'm grinding, light dashing, using spin dashes, spin kicks, all this kind of stuff. We're going to use badnik bounces as well. One right there. Grab the one up just for safety, because why not? But regardless, the main gems we are going to be seeing are the blue gem, the purple gem, and the sky blue gem, which you would be familiar with if you've seen the original game. But also, Chaos X added this new colorful one, the rainbow gem, which was unused in the original game and allows us to transform into Super Sonic, which was super freaking cool. You get it when you S rank all of Sonic's stages in this game. You can transform into Super Sonic here. So we transform into Super Sonic there because he is way faster in Sonic's Mach Speed sections than normal Sonic. But unfortunately, Super Sonic doesn't have access to the rest of the gems like regular Sonic does, so we only like to use him in Mach Speed sections when we can. Alright, letting go of A and repressing it to get a little extra distance out of Tails' flight there, because thankfully Chaos added a meter, so we know exactly how much flight Tails has left. We can skip his whole section and go straight to the beach on the other side and hit that switch. Let Sonic jump right over this gate, and we are headed into the Mach Speed section. So, some of you who may be familiar with the Sonic franchise know in a little game called Sonic Riders that Sonic's rival in that game, Jet, gets beat by Sonic, and Sonic says, even without wings, I can still fly. Well, I assure you that he can also fly in this game, and Sonic wasn't just joking around. As we jump right here, hit that roof, and we're flying. Who says Super Sonic can't fly in these games? So using the slope of the ramp and Mach Speed Sonic's insane speed, especially Super Sonic, we can roof launch, which is what that trick is called, all the way over to the tunnel, and we just go through the loop and hit the goal ring, and we are finished with Wave Ocean already. This run is non-stop, super fast paced. If you're into high octane visuals, this is the game for you, because this run is a beast. It's so fun to run. And it's a pretty safe run, too. There are a lot of checkpoints. Even if there aren't checkpoints, there are ways to restart sections and that kind of stuff as well. So the run is relatively safe, and conveniently enough, there are checkpoints pretty much right before every major skip in this run. So if you happen to fail it and, you know, you just get reset back to the checkpoint, don't lose that much time. Regardless, which makes it pretty great, honestly. But anyway, here we are in Dusty Desert using the speed shoes that were re-implemented in this game. They were in one mission and shadow story in the original game. but Chaos X said nuts to that. We're gonna re-implement them into these stages, and we use it in Dusty Desert to go super fast all the way over the other side. With Sonic and Elise here. Basically, Sonic and Elise is just Sonic with a neutered moveset. We only have the light dash, the jump dash, the anti-grav slide, and the special shield, which damages enemies as well as allows us to walk on quicksand and later in water. I'll go more into depth when we get to Tropical Jungle with these two, but we are already finished with Dusty Desert. Sonic's shortest stage by far. We can do it in less than a minute, as you can see right there. And yeah, moving straight through this game. Moving on to the next stage, it is White Acropolis, one of my favorite stages. If you have access to Cat Jam, or if you're in my chat and know Cat Gem, if you're a subscriber there, you got to do it here because we are raving with the music here. It sounds like such a dance party. Great time for a donation as well, if there were one. But regardless, we are going to be talking about Snowboard Sonic here. So as you can see, kind of retained from his SA1 and SA2 days. If you actually do a jump instead of doing an awkward, just kind of hang 10, you can actually do tricks in this game, and it gives you a great boost of speed. But also you see me mashing the X button here, and Sonic's doing this little kick. Basically what it does is Chaos X added that, like in case you bump into a wall or an enemy or something, you can get yourself right back up to a reasonable speed just by pressing X. I don't know if it puts him at top speed, but it's pretty darn close. But anyway, we are just about done with the first section of White Acropolis here, and we are just going to keep the momentum going straight into Section 2. In Section 2, we are going to be seeing our first use of the purple gem. So we're not going to be using it quite yet, but we're going to be powering it up. Hello, Mr. Enemy. But anyway, we're just going to do the spin dashes since I want the purple gem active and not the blue gem. Kill that group of enemies there, and that gives us enough light cores to get our purple gem up to level 3, which allows us to do 3 purple gem jumps off of that searchlight, as well as a sky blue gem gets us over that invisible wall, and then we switch to the white gem to give ourselves extra homing attacks, because it got buffed in this game to where if you do a bounce attack and then white gem and then bounce attack and white gem, as long as you have meter, you can constantly chain jump dashes, which allows us to skip Tails' section and move right along to Crisis City. Like I said, this game is jam-packed with stuff. Every single stage is blitz, we're moving at lightning speed, in some cases literally, and yeah, we're moving on to what people consider the best stage of Sonic 06, and that's Sonic's Crisis City here. I can't disagree, but it's not my personal favorite stage, but it is quite a fun stage, especially in execution. With our second and final time on the snowboard here, but we're not actually on a snowboard, we're on a little piece of metal, and yeah, it kind of reminds me of a dystopian city escape, if you will. Now, there's something in my chat that we like to do when we get down to this section. I'm just going to jump right here, and let's get the 360! Woo! We do a little 360 there, show off our swag, but it doesn't end there, because we're going to be snowboarding down the rest of this backwards, which is kind of insane. Thankfully, it doesn't lose any time to go backwards, but it's for the swag, so of course you got to do it. All right, and that was Section 1. Moving on to Section 2. Crisis City, again, just non-stop high-octane action here. We're going to be using what's called the Legacy Homing Attack. It's a setting in this game. Normally in 06, Sonic and Shadow have a straight homing attack that has a set amount of momentum, and they just kind of fall to it right at the end. But Chaos X added this option to switch to something called the Legacy Homing Attack, which kind of is inspired by the Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog jump dash and slash homing attack. And what it does is it preserves momentum. So if we're moving up, when Sonic is moving up and you do a jump dash, he'll like be influenced in the upward direction. When he's moving down, he's influenced down. So it allows us to gain speed really quickly there. We had 1 frame to get that spin dash through that little hallway there, and I'm super happy we got it. We're just going to use the blue gem and a high jump, which I'll explain in a second here, and the white gem to completely skip that section, and we are flying right through these set pieces straight into Section 3, which is one of my favorite parts of the run. This run looks insanely cool. We do a combination of jump dashes, badnik bounces that return, because what's a Sonic game if you can't, badnik bounce, of course. And we're just going to use a series of jump dashes, homing attacks, and homing attack refreshes to get over here. Little blue gem high jump, switch to rainbow gem right before we land on that dash panel to supersonic, because we got a Mach speed section coming up. So beyond here in the Mach speed section, it's basically a straight shot. So I'm going to take this time to talk about the double input glitch. Essentially what happens, I don't have time to explain the whole thing, but with Sonic, if you press two buttons that do an action at the same time, in Sonic's case, A and X, if you press them on the same frame, the game acts like you're doing those actions at the exact same time, so it duplicates the action. So what I do with Sonic there is A and X do the spin dash, but Sonic can jump out of the spin dash in this game, and they actually gave Shadow the spin dash as well, so he can do it too. Which allows us to gain an insane amount of height with him, allows us to skip a lot of things and just make a couple tricks a little bit easier. You saw me use it in White Acropolis to get over the invisible wall there. But yeah, in addition, there's something called the homing attack refresh, which is a natural thing that Chaos wants in this game. It's not a bug. Where with Sonic and Shadow, if you do a jump dash and then you do a bounce attack or a Chaos Spear if you're Shadow, you can refresh the homing attack and do another jump dash, which is insane. But the nice thing is if you press A and X at the same time, you actually skip the bounce attack or the Chaos Spear animation, which essentially allows you to get a homing attack that's twice as long, or a jump dash that's twice as long. It's honestly really good for saving yourself if you manage to, you know, miss it, because there are bottomless pits, a lot of bottomless pits in this game. And like right here, like you just saw me do, I used a double homing attack there to get us across that gap without having to touch the ground and like refresh or jump dash or something like that. So in Flame Core here, talking about the stages a little bit, this is what I like to call the river. It's a really fun section to do. We just do some homing attacks and blue gem speed jumps here, and here we are at the second group of enemies to fight. Like I said, it's really hard to balance talking about tech in this game as well as talking about the stages, because we are just moving at a crazy fast rate. Doing another homing attack there and a double homing attack to hit that enemy. We're just going to grab that checkpoint for safety, of course. Do what I call the drop dash, where you do a bounce attack into a jump dash to essentially give Sonic super fast ground speed right out the gate. And we are moving on into section 2, where we're going to do another blue gem high jump. Over here, another high jump. You can see just how insanely high Sonic can go when you're using something like a high jump. And again, Tails and Knuckles can do it as well, because they both have actions that allow you to jump out of them. So there we go. So since we're invincible, we can run on this lava. So we'll just use the blue gem to go up that lava fall and some jump dashes to get ourselves to the other side, hit that switch, and move straight into Knuckles' section. So Knuckles the Echidna here, pretty much like how he is in Sonic Adventure 2 for our purposes. But we're just going to hit a couple of these orbs. We just have to hit right through them, because in order to unlock the door, we have to hit all 5 of these with Knuckles to save Sonic from the doom of being inside this cavern. The only thing, you can see me glow red sometimes. That's me really quickly letting go and repressing A, and what that does is reset Knuckles' descent. So it allows us to glide longer and farther than ever before, and you can do that an unlimited amount of times. And you can think of it kind of like the cape in Super Mario World, where if you do it like at an optimal enough rhythm, you can actually maintain the same height as you did when you started the glide. So we're just going to line up here, do a blue dim dash, and boom, we are done with Flame Core. This run's already almost halfway over, which is just insane. Oh my goodness. So fun, so fun. All right, moving on from here, we're going to move to Radical Train, one of Sonic's most kinetic stages. I say that, and most of these stages have been kinetics. We're going to go ahead and start with the purple gem and not the blue gem. Basically, wherever we need to go, the spin dashing is pretty much better than using the blue gem. It just allows for more fluid movements, and we need to charge up our purple gem for a little bit later in the stage. Going to grab that checkpoint there for safety, of course. Go through this loop, do a quick purple gem jump to land on this crane, and then we're going to hop right over to scale. And then I messed it up a little bit here, but we'll just do a quick spin dash jump. Oh my goodness, I've never gotten that much speed before. Of course, the classic GDQ, this has never happened before. And what I'm going to do is, just in case, grab this checkpoint right here. and we're just going to spin dash over to here and say nuts to automated sections. I'm just going to use the purple gem to jump right over those tracks, land on this grind rail, gain some speed, do a quick drop dash, and boom, we ran right into those speed shoes that Chaos placed there. And then a quick 1, 2, 3, all the way over and do a bounce attack, because for some reason the hitbox of the bounce attack goes through walls, so we can go straight through that cage, and we are in the next Mach speed section. Now you might be wondering, well, Stummo, you said that the Mach speed sections are supposed to be used with Supersonic because they're way faster, and you'd be correct, but unfortunately for Radical Train, Supersonic, the time it takes to transform into him and go through this Mach speed section actually gives us a loss compared to just doing it with regular Sonic. So plus it's a lot easier of a Mach speed section to do with regular Sonic, so there's pretty much no reason not to just use our little blue boy right here instead of transforming into the Super Saiyan. But yeah, that's Radical Train. You know, we skip, just like in retail, you don't have to actually go on those dash panels, hit the goal ring. You can just run straight into the train, and that'll allow us to complete the stage as well. Moving on to my personal favorite stage, if we weren't Sonic and Elise, is Tropical Jungle. I consider Tropical Jungle to be one of the best stages in Sonic's 3D career. It's got so many pathways, both in Section 1 and Section 2. The only thing that really hinders it, well, also it looks freaking gorgeous, especially in P06. Chaos X added a lot of foliage and a lot of different details to the game that allows it to just be drop dead gorgeous every time you play it. But in addition to that, the only thing that really hampers it, again, like I said, is just Sonic and Elise. Just that neutered moveset really kind of takes this stage down a peg. Though we do get a nice little cutscene of Sonic kind of being a little bit reckless, which kind of surprises me because you don't know the story of this game. This princess here, Elise, has the flames of disaster inside of her, and if she dies, they get released. So this little set piece right here, while kind of fun, is a bit strange that Sonic would do something like that. But anyway, up to a major skip. We got a checkpoint right there for safety. We're gonna break the automation and use the slope of that log there to fly over the kill plane, skip the automation, and land right into Section 2. That is called log skip. Pretty easy to do. You just jump right at those glowing mushrooms, and we can head right into Section 2 here. Use the shield to walk on the water because it allows us to walk on quicksand and water for some reason, and move on through Section 2. Unfortunately, we're going to be moving over most of the multiple pathways, but this is the optimal route through the stage, and boom, mission complete. And that's Tropical Jungle. Now, here's where the run gets interesting, because these next two stages are some of Sonic's longest, and they have a lot of intricate skips in them, as well as just general movement is very difficult, and that's Kingdom Valley and Aquatic Base. So Kingdom Valley has a lot of bottomless pits, but like I said, thankfully, as is with most of this game, there are pretty much checkpoints everywhere you would need them to be, like right here to jump over that bottomless pit. We're going to be seeing one a little bit later to jump over that bottomless pit, and yeah. So we got a checkpoint there as well. That'll help us at the very end of the stage here. And I'm actually going to switch to the purple gem and slow down a bit and destroy some of those enemies to allow us to level that up to level 3. And I accidentally did a bounce attack there, because sometimes when you do a high jump, you actually do a bounce attack. I'm going to swap over the blue gem here, because we don't need that eagle. We can just do a quick blue gem jump to hit the load zone right there, because it doesn't matter if you're on the eagle or not. He'll come pick you up later. But now we're a new character, Silver the Hedgehog. So Silver is fairly unchanged from his retail counterparts, though some of his abilities being a little bit more balanced. But a cool thing is his teleport dash doesn't go a set distance. It goes as long as you have meter for it. It uses up more meter than just regular hovering, but you go a farther distance than you do with regular hovering. So it's pretty much the optimal way to move. We're going to just destroy that robot with our psychokinesis, land on these boxes as they rise up, skip that little enemy fight there, and go along this little ledge so we don't have to activate the staircase, and move right along, switch back to Sonic, and we're back with the blue gem. All right, moving on to here, another one of the most famous skips that comes up later in this section is Castle Skip. But first, if you do a high jump right as you land on that dash panel, you can actually skip over that tower, which is just absolutely insane. We're gonna go ahead and hop on these here. I'm gonna switch to the purple gem just for safety, because sometimes the camera can be a little bit wonky and Sonic will fall. Thankfully we didn't do that. Do a quick badnik bounce off of those guys, light dash, and now we hit the checkpoint again right before another huge skip, which is really convenient for us in case we fail it, and there's a really fast backup for this as well. But this is castle skip, so we're gonna hit these two enemies, use the white gem to change some jump dashes over to this tower here, wait for our meter to recharge. We're gonna do a blue gem high jump, and then 1, 2, 3, and just for safety, I'm going to use the sky blue gem here to land on the other side there, and that's castle skip. Now we follow castle skip with a couple blue gem movements, some spin dash in, all that jazz. Do a quick spin dash jump to go right through that tower, hit the wind rail thingamabob, and we're back on rainbow gem because we're using it one more time for Sonic's Mach Speed section, the final Mach Speed section of the run. But just a bit of optimal overlap here. We can use the explosion from Supersonic's transformation to destroy those enemies, because thankfully, even if the enemy is multi-hit, Supersonic can defeat them in one hit. It's unfortunate that, well, Shadow actually does have an upgrade like that as well if Shadow were to be run. But here we are in Sonic's final Mach Speed section for Kingdom Valley here. Pretty simple. There aren't too many skips here. We're just going to use Supersonic's insane speed to do a couple wall jumps right here, and then moving on from there. Of course, we want a light dash because it's kind of funny. I mentioned this in the last Mach Speed section, but like I said, with how fast and chaotic this game is, we kind of have to pick and choose what we explain here. But light dashing is the fastest form of movement in a Mach Speed section. As you can see, Sonic turns into a lightning bolt here and just blazes through the stage. You can see how quickly he's going, significantly faster than if you were to use just regular Sonic himself. So I'm really happy that Chaos implemented the fact that we can use Supersonic there, and boom, that is Kingdom Valley. Thankfully, it went really well. Alrighty, that was incredible, and thankfully on stages of Mach Speed sections, of course, we get an S rank because there's so many rings in those Mach Speed sections, and since we're light dashing to go as fast as possible, and we're Supersonic, so it's not like we can take damage, we end up with a lot of rings at the end of there. You can actually get as much as like, you can get like 600 rings in Crisis City. It's actually kind of ridiculous. But this is Aquatic Base with some of my favorite music. Again, the music in this game is amazing. It's pretty much something people unanimously agree on that's good about 06 is the music. And we're just going to use some blue gem badnik bounces. So I use the blue gem, jump on an enemy to allow us to badnik bounce. And we're just going to move right on through this stage, switching to the purple gems so that when I'm fighting these enemies, I can level it up to level 3, which we're going to be using as a second. Spam the homing attack to kill that enemy real quick. The white gem retains its homing smash property from retail that allows us to kind of kill enemies in one hit, which is really convenient. Just a little tiny optimization there since we do have extra light cores to use. And what I'm doing right now is ball skips. So normally you have to wait for these lasers and go on a ball, but unfortunately I held the joystick down a little too much, and that met Sonic's doom. So we're just gonna have to hop onto this ball here. Again, really safe. This is what you do in gemless as well. It would be quite dangerous to use the you can actually get here without the gems. You can hop on all these pillars individually and you get to each of them with Sonic, but it's very scary to do. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and switch to Tails here, do a quick high jump, fly up to this platform, let him reset his flight there, and boom, hit the switch, hit the checkpoint of course, and move straight on through Aquatic Base here. So why you know, have level design and why go over the lasers when you can just go right under them right there? So thankfully the kill plane is low enough that we can just fly right under those with Tails, and we don't have to waste time recharging his flight at all through that section there. All right, hitting another checkpoint using the tail spin, which is something that Chaos X added. He added an air tail spin and the rhythm badge from SA1. You can hold B on the ground and Tails will just keep doing tail spins over and over and over again. And even with the death there, our gems are reset to level 1. But thankfully with this, we can get our blue gem back up to level 3, which is of course ideal because it allows us to move faster. And we are moving on to section 2. Section 2 is really fun at the beginning here. Let's see if we can get it. I call this the strike because you just barrel through those enemies. And moving on from there, another fun section here. We do a quick jump dash, blue gem jump right into killing these enemies, which is super fun. Do a quick light dash to gain some speed and weasel ourselves right through those lasers. Do some blue gem into spin dash to allow us to get through that tunnel real quick and not be stopped by those shutter doors. Kind of power up the purple gem just a little bit for safety, and we're switching over to Knuckles here for what is barely a section with him. We are going to just basically glide over the entire thing. Do one glide refresh again that resets his descent, so allows us to glide farther, and use his drill drive, which was in 06, but it works like how it does in Adventure 2 in this game. And we're gonna say nuts to using the ball because we are going to fly over this section with Sonic here and using his blue gem, some high jumps, as well as normally I'd use the purple gem and white gem, but unfortunately, like I said, the purple gem didn't quite get to level 3. But we're going to see our final new gem of the run. This is the green gem, which allows an area of effect tornado. It allows us to do this really quickly and destroy those enemies. And do some of that. Hit the blue gem again. And we're just going to spin dash our way all the way down to the bottom here. And again, just more blue gem spin dashes to get right through those barricades. And then just blue gem jumps all the way to the end of Aquatic Base. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Alrighty. So you think, oh, well, shouldn't we be done with Sonic's story? That's the last of his stages. Au contraire, we do have one more stage, and that is the extra stage, which is Tails' Wave Ocean. We decided to put it in the run because, you know, we want to play as much of the game as possible. But this was basically the evaluation section. This stage, you know, it's pretty simple. It's very possible to die. But you know, this is kind of where you kind of evaluate your run. You know, you kind of look at the time, because generally this stage takes about 1 minute and 30 seconds to complete. So you're kind of looking at it and you're like, okay, like, am I going to get a 26? Am I going to get a 25? Obviously 25-26 is the world record. I think this run, I'll have to time it out afterwards because I didn't put a timer on the screen, but it's going to probably be around 26:30 if I remove the intro. Maybe a little bit more than that, maybe closer to 27. But regardless, this is a fantastic run, and I'd be super excited and ecstatic to have this ran in GDQ because it is just way too fun of a game to not be put into a GDQ. So I really hope you guys feel the same way. I know Gordon Ramsay, the chef himself, also submitted this run, so I hope between the two of us, you guys find a spot for this. Because this game is too good to just kind of be left alone. And Chaos is constantly updating it and constantly provides updates on his Twitter and stuff about how development is going. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And if you made it all the way to the end, I really appreciate you watching. One last little skip here. Again, same as in the original. But thankfully, we kind of get a guaranteed hop over here because we can go off the top of that roof there, give us a little more height, basically guarantee going over. And yeah, that's the entire run. Again, like really if you made it to the end here, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. And yeah, I really hope you enjoy this run. It's really kinetic. I hope my commentary was good, and yeah, I'd love to see this at GDQ, whether it's me running it or otherwise. So thank you so much.